5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, we're live. This is Ted Hicks, Late Night Parents. Ways to follow the show, LateNightParents.com. We have Mr. B in the building. Mr. B, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. I got to make a slight modification to that, so I'll hide that for a second. Great broadcast. We got some great broadcasters on here. Big shout out to Tony D, our boy Brian.
Yes, sir.
Fireman Rich, Sunday Night Smoke. Of course, our friends at All About the Joy.
Yes.
Jukebox Jury.
Jukebox Jury. Yes, indeed.
I guess I missed it because it came up, but I'll catch the replay of it. Of course, good friend Michael Bathurst, and the many, many, many other broadcasters that are out there doing the thing. Big shout outs to all of you guys. Mr. B, I know it's not our usual day, and it's not Wednesday at 4:00, but I thought it was appropriate to ask you a few questions that we weren't able to cover on a few nights ago, that were combat sports related. So first question is in regards to, we listened to many different podcasts and we heard Nick Khan talk about these mega events that are supposed to happen or potentially were going to happen in 2024, where you would have like a full weekend of WWE, and in that same town would be a WWE event or two, and UFC.
Yeah.
Which I would think would be like an ultimate weekend if you do a SmackDown event on a Saturday night. Friday night, Saturday morning. If there's, either UFC early in the morning or late at night, and or vice versa, and throw in an NXT event. I know I've been hounding you about that. I wanted to know your thoughts on if you've heard anything about these mega weekends. Do you foresee this coming in 2024, or is this something going to be a little bit further out?
Yo, what's up, Tony? Yo, Tony in the chat.
Tony, what's going on?
Yeah, I see it happening. I see it coming about this year. I think we could get probably one or two of them. We'll see, because they're looking to be a little bit more competitive. They're looking to show the strong arm now since they're united.
Right.
I see them trying to, not trying. They're definitely going to go ahead. We'll see how the PFL lands out their schedule. And PFL, AEW Wrestling, they got to have their events. So we'll see how they lay the UFC, TKO, lay out their plans. But I do see mega events coming. I see at least two big-time events. We'll probably get one during the summer and then probably one during the end of the year. They probably might even bring one before the summer starts. Considering that the PFL is going to do that whole champion versus champion event, and they're going to look to do a couple other shows. I see the UFC looking to compete, and TKO, WWE, throw some events there. But I can see two mega events for the year.
Two mega events. So 2 weeks. Do you think is this going to be something that's domestic, or this is definitely going to be something that's global, that's going to be outside of the US? And
if anything, I see one for the States and one globally.
Okay.
I can see one. If they do two, it'll be one for the States and one globally. Yeah. And if it's just one, oh man, they're gonna throw like the whole. They're gonna bet the whole house on that one event.
Yes. Yes. Because I just want to get to the point where we have these cards and we see the stars slash performers, from each industry,
Right.
not participating, but just there.
Yep.
We think about the days of when it was what is it? You would see like Brock Lesnar just show up out of nowhere. And you're just like, whoa, okay, where did that one come from? Or something
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
but I think it would be cool for that, because that's how you actually show your strength.
Yes, that's very true. Give credit where credit is due. Before they had announced the union, the big merger. We had like Leon Edwards at Clash at the Castle.
Yes.
He had beat Kamaru Usman. Like literally, like weeks after that, yeah, he was there at Clash at the Castle in the UK. We've had a couple other people show up at the UFC events. We have certain wrestlers show up at the UFC
Yes.
events. And it's a little bit of a conflict of interest though, because you had a couple AEW folks show up at UFC events and WWE guys show up at UFC events. So now I'm looking to see how that's gonna really carry on moving forward.
But is there a problem if you're a fan of combat sports, if you're a fan of UFC, and regardless, if you're with Tony Khan or you're with the big conglomerate, like if you're a fan of UFC, you're gonna be there. I mean, I can see where it can get a little
shaky, shaky. But no, I think for the most part, if you're a fan, you're a fan. You go and you attend. You know what I mean? But you could cause some friction there. But I think respectfully, they'll mind. Handle themselves. They're grown people, so
all friction isn't bad.
Right.
That's the one thing I'll say about that. Hang on 1 second. To follow that up, where do you see? And I know I keep asking you these questions because I know you have the inside knowledge on this, and you read the wikis and the blogs and everything else like that. And where do you see, I guess, for 2025, do you see UFC re-upping with ESPN, or is that, how do I say this? Have things changed with PFL cutting a deal with ESPN?
Yup. What's up, Rich?
Rich, what's going on?
Morning. That's gonna be interesting to see. It's a very, very tricky situation there. If the UFC re-sign with ESPN, ESPN's gonna throw the bag at them to stay. Probably. But thinking about how the WWE has been moving on that aspect of TKO, we could see a move from the UFC, I think. It would be a real crazy but genius idea if you get these guys on Peacock. I've mentioned this. If the UFC were to move, Peacock will probably be the place for them to move to. Because look what Peacock's doing for WWE. We've practically forgot all about the WWE network.
We did. It's like not even available in it's no longer relevant in the United States.
Yeah. Peacock once they made that move to Peacock, it's like we had the WWE network. No, everybody moved over to Peacock.
But do you think like would it be a deal that would be similar where you would say got it, Rich. We're with you.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into that topic, I'm sure, later, Rich, about this whole exclusivity and forcing people to do things they don't want to do, which means downloading Peacock.
Right.
I will say one football game.
I will say one thing as far as Peacock is concerned. Mm-hmm. If the UFC moves to Peacock, you got to fix that delay situation, man.
Yes.
You got to fix the delays. Seriously. You got to
But
have this thing on time. It is insane.
if they move, do you see them also um taking the library and dropping the library also on Peacock?
The UFC library?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That has to be the move. And if you drop the library, you give it to Pete. Oh my goodness, the money in return will be nuts.
That's insane. But then that would kind of render the UFC Fight Pass useless in the US, correct?
That's one thing I was thinking about too. You have the regional UFC Fight Pass offers not just the UFC stuff, but also regional shows.
Right.
So that's beneficial. That's still going to be beneficial. You have the regional shows. We have grappling events and a lot of that stuff, and they showcase real good the real good events. Peacock will have to throw even more money if they wanted to, you know what I mean, to take UFC Fight Pass and absorb that and have all that under the Peacock umbrella. But I think UFC will keep UFC Fight Pass.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, as far as certain things that were on ESPN, I think they'll move that to Peacock. So Peacock will have certain things there, and then UFC will still have his UFC Fight Pass.
Later, Rich.
Later.
Yeah, I just thought because it was ingenious the long-standing relationship with WWE and Peacock is and NBC is one thing, but I was wondering, I'm like, okay, do they move from the worldwide leader? And then when I was, me personally, I thought without a doubt, PFL would sign back with Paramount Plus.
So I kind of thought.
I kind of thought that, especially since they're like, I don't know, 10% owners still or 20% owners. So, and I'm like, okay, this seems like a no-brainer. But they're taking their ball. They're going to ESPN. They're going for the exposure. Smart move.
Yep.
But I'm just wondering. I'm wondering because the UFC itself can stand on its own.
Yeah.
If it wanted to.
Yep.
So yeah. I do see some differences here. It's like, hey, I'm going to bring my audience and drop it here. And you're like, okay, it's different if you didn't have an audience. But UFC is a, organization that's what was it? It was sold for $3-4 billion a few years ago. And that thing, that number has just gone through the roof.
Yep.
Flip side to it is, where do you see Monday Night Raw going? Do you see it staying with Peacock, or do you see it? Could it go to ESPN? Could it go to? Because it definitely, we see Fox is no longer interested in this business.
Yeah, Fox is no longer interested. But I do wonder. I wonder if that could change.
Okay.
I wonder if it could change. Because you signed Punk. One of the big reasons that Fox didn't want to do more business with WWE at one point was because of CM Punk. CM Punk was on their show that after the little hour show they had there.
Yeah.
Punk was on there. They wanted Fox signed Punk. WWE didn't want Punk on there. Right. Fox wanted Punk on there.
Right.
Punk is on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if they look and Fox says, "Hey, we'll take Raw because you got the guy back."
Right.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I wouldn't be surprised if USA says, "Hey, let's try to put another deal out there you know, or if the move to what, um, was it one no the CW, the possible
Yes.
CW move,
Yeah.
maybe something like that. Warner Brothers Discovery, depending. I don't know. Yeah.
It just, you bring up a couple of good items there.
Hey, Carmen, how you
Carmen, how
doing?
you doing? Hey. So do you, I mean, potentially what you're saying is you can see Fox saying, "Hey, here's SmackDown. We're no longer interested in that Thursday/Friday type property,
Yeah.
but we could be in the business for Monday night."
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Got it. Um,
Uh,
what are staying with WWE? Third question is, so we're seeing all of this talk about Roman versus Rock. Is it going to happen in Australia? Is it going to happen in, is it Survivor Series? Is it WrestleMania? Is it that? What about Cody finishing the story? At one point, I mean, this is going to be, well, I mean, like, would it be like 2 or 3 years for him to tell his story?
yeah. Yeah.
But does that arc make sense? Or is it more believable? Or is it, help us out?
It's an interesting turn of events because you would think that Cody should have won. He should have won the title at 39. I see why they didn't pull the trigger on it though,
Mm-hmm.
because of the fact that in hopes they wanted to have Rock Roman.
Right.
That was supposed to happen last year. Didn't happen because of obligations and all that stuff. Rock got free time now. He wants to do this here. I heard that Roman's not gonna be at Elimination Chamber. So
Right.
we could probably throw that one out the window.
Okay.
Now that leaves you with an interesting scenario here. You have 2 to 3 options of how this could play out.
Okay.
Roman could go ahead, face Cody Rhodes again, probably beat Cody again,
Mm-hmm.
face The Rock, beat The Rock, maintain his title.
Okay.
You have Roman face Cody, Rock interferes, Cody wins the title, WrestleMania. I mean, somewhere down the line, SummerSlam, Rock versus Roman,
Mm.
head of the table spot.
Okay.
What happens there?
No belts included, just for the head of the table.
Or you get real crazy and you beat the guy of then, the guy of now. You become the undisputed champion. You knocked out 2 big names. Cody Rhodes becomes the undisputed champion at WrestleMania in a triple threat match.
Hmm. Okay.
That's my 3 possible scenarios that I could think of. But I think you go with Rock interfering possibly in the match of WrestleMania,
Okay.
Roman going to face him, or you have The Rock face him, Rock loses, Cody faces him, Cody wins, Rock wants revenge because they're gonna cheat Rock out of winning.
Of
And
course.
Rock probably wins then. But whatever happens, I see Cody finishing his story hopefully this year. Yeah. I think this year is gonna be Cody's year, man.
If he does it, how important would SummerSlam is going to be at Madison Square Garden?
SummerSlam this year, I think SummerSlam they said something crazy. What was it? Yeah, they was talking about Paris and Cleveland.
Because
They're talking about Cleveland. I think Cleveland was SummerSlam.
Oh, okay.
Think about Cleveland and SummerSlam. There's one event they want to have in Paris, I know, but I think SummerSlam was Cleveland.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just hope. I mean, I'm expecting the creative team to, they've been laying this out. You think Randy Orton is involved in any of this? Rock, Roman, does Orton get involved? Is there, Money in the Bank? Anyone cashing in? And the importance of Roman defeating Hogan's record.
Oh. Who knows?
I was talking with someone about that. I said,
that could be a possible goal, yeah.
Roman
to be Hogan's title record,
right?
And move on from Hogan. You know what I mean? Not for nothing, but there's certain people they're gonna try to move from. They respected Hogan's reign. They respected Ric Flair's title wins.
Yes,
title wins. And we got to see. Randy's at what? I think 14 or 15. He's just a few away, and he's still active. So we got to see. He's the guy that could be.
I mean, I'm just thinking Hogan's consecutive streak and where Roman is at. Roman is pretty close to him right now.
Yeah.
You know, because no one's going to beat Bruno Sammartino's record. Okay.
No.
It's today's fans aren't there.
No, today's fans aren't there. And the way wrestling has developed throughout the years, people ain't going to have that number of matches like that. They're not going to go consecutive like that. No way. It's not the same.
I want to switch to early thoughts on Ngannou Joshua.
Boy, oh boy. Not gonna be like Ngannou Fury. No. I think Joshua realizes how serious of a deal this is.
Yes.
I think Joshua goes out there and he's gonna fight the smartest fight he could fight. It's gonna be a range game. I think it's gonna be a range game all day.
The safest fight because he doesn't want to get embarrassed like Fury got embarrassed.
And I'm not sure. Fury got dropped. He got hit. He fell. I'm not sure what Joshua's mentality gonna be if Joshua gets dropped by Ngannou. That's the thing. I don't know. It's worrisome. Because we seen what happened when he got rocked by Ruiz. He didn't know what the heck was going on.
He didn't.
It's like he didn't expect to get hit like that. He didn't expect to fall. Like what was happening? Like you didn't know he got hit.
Yo, in the UK. Wait, no, this was in Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square, yeah, because he was
Madison Square Garden. Yeah.
Remember?
Yes,
he got rocked. And
you know what I just remember with Joshua? I just remembered that when he was going through the ESPN car wash, he was going on from show to show to show to show, getting ready to fight Ruiz and talking trash about Wilder, how he doesn't want to fight and this and all this other stuff. And there's a foregone conclusion. And then he gets rocked.
Yep, he rocked the big man. The big man got up, and the man said, "Okay, let's go." And then he's dropped those. I'll never forget that. I lost my mind.
Yo.
Oh my god! And that could happen all over again.
Yes.
Because Francis is a big dude, but Francis got a crazy reach.
Yes.
Francis got like an 80+ inch reach on his arms. He got long arms. I think
Francis
his
got
reach
nothing to lose either. You know how
exactly,
dangerous it is. If you don't have
exactly.
anything to lose,
I think we look to see the counter striking Francis Ngannou possibly in a
yes.
fight like this. Yo, to see how good he managed to look against Fury, and then he can come out here like this. You giving him time, man. Joshua got to play his P's and Q's perfectly. It's all range, all behind the jab. He got to work
Right.
the jab.
Stay
You got
away
to
from
try to,
him.
yeah. If you're gonna engage, you got to engage and try to get those short shots in, tight uppercuts, and get your hook game on point. Try to play a counter game against Ngannou as well. But boy, oh boy, is it gonna be a very you got to play careful, man. For real. I'm telling you, if Joshua gets dropped,
It's over.
we're gonna see panic mode in Joshua.
Right.
That's what's gonna be the problem.
Right. Right.
And it's gonna be how does he overcome that? Or if not, we could get a shutout if Joshua just plays it to a T. We'll see though. But it's gonna
Um,
be exciting. It's gonna be exciting for sure.
yes. I will say that. UFC 300. It's a big
Yo,
deal.
yes.
Happening, I think, April 13th. Um, Mr. B, how come there's no like mega fights set up for 300? 300 is the thing, but like, what am I missing?
UFC 300. They have announced some fights. The problem is, if you are the casual fan, there's quite a number of those fights that will not tickle your interest. If you've been like that deep diver of UFC, you're definitely gonna enjoy it. But there's a couple of fights on there that are pretty good. There's some good fights there. Um, Depending the talent. Well, yeah, they have Yuri Prohaska, who was the former light heavyweight champion. He's fighting Alexander Rakic on there. Rakic has been out due to injury, though. He's not. Rakic is somewhat entertaining, somewhat not entertaining, though.
Right.
That's the problem. And Prohaska, he's entertaining as hell, even though he got knocked out by the dude that knocked out Izzy. You know what I mean? Israel Adesanya.
Mm-hmm.
This dude got knocked out. I think it was 296. Yeah, 296. He got dropped, finished. That kind of sucks, you know. But the rest of the card, some good fights. There was a fight that's rumored to be on there. Leon
Okay.
Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad. Although it's a rumor, we may get it. But there was an announcement, I think either Wednesday or Thursday. A fight has been put on this card. I like this fight. A lot of people agree with this fight. The problem is the timing of this fight.
Okay.
And it's between the women's strawweight champion Weili Zhang versus the current number one contender. I think she's in the top 3 right now. Yan Xiaonan. Both of these two ladies are Chinese fighters. Chinese-born fighters. Big time fight. Why is it bad timing? This should have been done in China. You guys got money, you got fighters. Put it out there, either Shenzhen or Hong Kong. Get a card out there.
Mm-hmm.
Showcase these two ladies and how far they've made it
Mm.
for China. Make
Missed
this shit happen.
opportunity.
Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity.
Because you have Chinese fighters. You got Chinese fighters. You got Korean fighters. You got a lot. You could have put those guys on that card too. Those guys and gals. And that's it. The East versus the world. You could have put. That could have been their card right there to build it. You got a guy right now who's in the top 10. I think, top 10. Yadong Song Yadong. He's fighting Peter Yan on the 299 card. Yo, you could have had him because he's from China. You could have had him as the co-main on a card on China if you would have done it, but they didn't do it. Missed opportunity. But it does bolster the 300 card though. They're still gonna add some more fights. They have the Olympic hopeful. Well, he was a hopeful, but he decided to do mixed martial arts. Bo Nickel, NCAA wrestler, big time dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's been pretty good, undefeated. They have him on the card. They got Aljamain Sterling, the boy out of is it Queens? Yeah, but he lives in your area. He lives in your neck of the woods.
Yep.
In Long Island there, yeah. So, they got him on the card. He's moving up, fighting Calvin Cater. And, Calvin Cater. Calvin Cater hasn't had the best run in the last couple of fights, man. Max Holloway lit him up for 5 rounds. He had his knee injured in that one fight. Yeah, man, it hasn't been good for Calvin, but we'll see how he bounces back. But yeah, we're gonna see if they got more fights for 300. But there's a couple other folks that's supposed to be on the card. Hopefully they do. Oh yeah, they did put Charles Oliveira on there.
Oh, okay.
He's fighting Armin Sarukian. They announced that fight because they announced 2 fights. They put the Oliveira fight on that card. They should have put the other fight they announced on that card, but they put that fight on 299. And that's that dude, Benoit Saint Denis, out of France. The dude that's been killing everybody with the body kicks and the submission game. He's fighting Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier is like the number 1 guy in the lightweight division. He's like the number 1 guy besides the champion. He's practically the guy. So, the people's champ. And he's coming back now. He's at 35 now. And he's only looking for big money fights and titles.
Yeah.
So, he's coming back. And that 299 card is vicious. Oh, man.
Next week we got Shane Strickland.
Yes.
Versus
Dricus Duplessis.
Duplessis. I didn't want to butcher it.
Yeah.
So, any thoughts on that?
First off, this will be the first time in a long time. They've been to Canada. The last time they've been to Canada was for UFC 289. But it's been a while since they've been in Toronto. They've been in Vancouver. But it'll be the first time in a while that they've been in Toronto. Toronto's one of the big spots for mixed martial arts. Because of course, GSP. The guy, yeah. So it'll be the first time in a while. Yes. Yes. It'll be the first time in a while that they're gonna be in Toronto. Toronto crowd, one of the best crowds you could be in attendance for, or you could watch fights, watch the events happen there. Like if you're at home and you're watching that, you're gonna feel like you're over there. If you're over there in Toronto, it's madness. Toronto, I think it's Toronto. The O2 Arena. The T-Mobile Arena. I think Brazil and the Saitama Super Arena, and probably the one spot in Dublin. Craziest places you could ever sit through a MMA event.
Mm.
Those folks go insane, berserk. They're just wilding. They're all into the fights. So that's gonna be pretty cool to hear the responses. There's a lot of good Canadian fighters on the card.
Okay.
There's some good matchups that are gonna be happening on there. It's headlined by Sean Strickland and the guy Dricus Duplessis coming off of the injury of his foot. He beat the number one guy other than Israel Adesanya, Robert Whittaker. He soundly beat that guy. Like, he messed that guy up. And yeah, so he'll be coming out here. They have been exchanging words. There was a scuffle that they had at the last pay-per-view. Was it 296? Yeah, they had a scuffle over there in the crowd. Like a real, they threw punches and whatnot. Sean Strickland had his moment where he talked about his past and all this stuff. Yeah, so there's a lot, there's drama behind it. But the co-main event is an interesting one. Not that many people are excited for it. I am, though. Some hardcore folks will be. Raquel Pennington, the number 2 in the women's bantamweight division, is fighting the number 3, Mayra Bueno Silva. Because, Amanda Nunes, she vacated the title. She went to retire. You can't hold the division on your shoulders for so long. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can only do it you only have so much time. So she went, retired. The title's vacant. So you have these two. Bueno Silva beat Holly Holm for her title shot. And Raquel Pennington's been on a pretty good tear. And she's been one of those workhorses in the division, forever improving, pretty much. So we'll see how these two ladies fare against one another. Raquel had fought Amanda Nunes a few years back, even though she shouldn't have taken that fight because she came off a horrific snowmobile accident.
Ooh.
Where it looked like they were going to probably amputate her whole leg. Yeah, she shattered her leg to pieces. Ooh. Mangled that leg. And then she came back some months later, but that leg wasn't 100%, and Nunes kicked that leg to smithereens. So, she's gotten a lot better. Strength has come back. We'll see how she does if she can win the title there. But it's a good matchup there. My dude Chris Curtis. He's fighting Marc-Andre Barriault, and two dark horses are going to be fighting each other. Arnold Allen out of England will be fighting the dark horse, Movsar Evloev, number 9 out of Russia. The dude is stoic. He has Fedor vibes. He doesn't have KOs like that, but his skill set is frustrating. Whoa. It's very frustrating. He stifles your wrestling. He, for some way or awkward, he has an awkward way of nullifying your strikes. So your strikes end up low. You end up with a low output. He wrestles well. He makes very few mistakes, other than that one crazy fight, but that was like a short notice fight against Diego Nunes. But Diego Lopez. But yeah, he's very stoic, calculated, few mistakes, really solid record. Look out for it. And the rest of the card is pretty good. Some real good bangers for the Toronto crowd.
Got it. What do you have behind you?
Oh, this is today. First, actually, let me help you out here real quick. This is in a few hours. Yeah, so this is today's show. This was going to be going on today, 4:00 Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Magomed Ankalaev, the man who's on this side here, will be fighting the man on this side here, Johnny Walker. This is a very good fight between these two. The number 3 guy, Magomed Ankalaev, solid talent for the light heavyweight division.
Mm-hmm.
He's only had one loss in his career, and it's been in the UFC. He got caught shockingly in a triangle and submitted, if I remember correctly, by Paul Craig. But other than that, very dangerous dude, man. Really solid sambo wrestling. He has nice boxing skills. He works well behind the jab and really nice footwork.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of stumbled on his last couple fights, though. Some of his fights have ended in some controversy, or he looks like he's not fully into the fights. But for the most part, he's a solid talent, man. Future bound light heavyweight champion. He did challenge a little while ago, but that fight was considered a draw. He hasn't had the best of luck, somewhat, but solid skill set. He's fighting this guy Johnny Walker, who's 21-7. Came in, had a splash in the division, but then took a couple of losses. You know, he wasn't really focused. He was lacking discipline. During 2020, he was training at GSP's gym, the TriStar gym, where GSP was training at. But he was getting himself into some extracurricular activities with the ladies.
Okay.
Supposedly he tried to sneak one of the ladies in the gym. You know, you can't be doing that when you're supposed to be fighting. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's what happened, and they weren't having it. He got upset about it, but now he trains with Conor McGregor's coach, John Kavanagh, in Ireland. He trains with those guys now, SBG, and he's gotten better. He's got himself a couple good wins. And so this is a rematch because the last time they fought, there was a illegal knee thrown. It hit Johnny. Johnny didn't know where he was. Called it no contest. So this is the rematch. Johnny Walker, super explosive, long reach. This guy's reach is ridiculous. He has a crazy reach. He has an 82-inch reach. That's considered in some cases a heavyweight reach. I think Francis is like 85 or something like that, and John is 84. John Jones. So he has one of the craziest reaches as far as arm reach is concerned. But yeah, these guys will be going at it. Good fight. The co-main event, if I remember correctly, will be Jim Miller, OG Jim Miller, long-time competitor in the UFC. We'll be finding another guy who's been around for a while, in Gabriel Benitez. Miller is on the trail to fight for UFC 300. He has fought in UFC 100, and he has fought in UFC 200.
Okay.
So he wants to fight in UFC 300.
Wow.
And yes, he's picked up wins in 100 and 200, if I remember correctly. So he wants to get to 300. If he wins here, he probably will be put on the card. But who he's going to face, I don't know. Gabriel Benitez, longtime member of American Kickboxing Academy. Nasty boxing skills, kickboxing skills. He's a good guy, man. Good fighter. Has had some tough losses because he's always gung-ho, man. He's willing to go out on his shield. So we'll see. Also, big props. Cain Velasquez is supposed to be in his corner, actually.
Okay.
He's here today. He's there. So he'll be the cornerman, as you know, former UFC heavyweight champ, also a member of American Kickboxing Academy. He'll be out there. I know some people are talking about him because of his case. You know, I think he got an ankle monitor. He might have an ankle monitor on or whatnot. I don't know, but he's going to be out there. You know what I mean? Free Cain. Cain's out here. You know, it is what it is. We have Ricky Simon, Mario Batista. A good battle between two pretty solid bantamweights. Ricky Simon, high-level grappling, high-level wrestler, non-stop pace. Mario Batista, nasty kickboxing skills. Wrestling is improving. Submission skills are improving. Really, this is going to be a fun fight for sure. Bruno Ferreira out of Brazil is fighting Phil Hawes, former big-time wrestler. I think he was an NCAA. Is he at the NCAA? I think he's a Division II. I think he's a Division One or Division II wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
He's improving on his striking, but he's been rocked bad in his last couple of fights. Every time they tag this man's chin, he goes to Sleepsville. And Bruno Ferreira, big bodied middleweight, middleweight 185. He's a big dude for middleweight. He did get stopped in, I think, his last fight or second to last fight. But when he's on, boy, boy, yeah, you're going to sleep. So one of these guys is probably gonna go to sleep for real. If Phil ain't using his wrestling here, he's definitely gonna go to sleep. But if Bruno doesn't keep his defense up, he'll probably go to sleep as well. And then we got OG Andre Arlovsky. Respect to Andre Arlovsky. Andre Arlovsky is from the old school era of UFC, still competing to this day. I think he's 44 right now. Yeah, like 44, 46, one or two. Still going strong. I always say it, big props to his management team because this guy is still getting 6-figure paychecks. It's crazy. You know, you don't see that happen with a lot of the guys, but he's been a respectable, honorable fighter for the UFC. A real stand-up guy for the sport, you know. He's fighting Waldo Cortez Acosta out of DR. The Duke of Box. He don't defend leg kicks like that, but he can box. The dude got hands. He got some crazy hands. He's still on the build though. He has it's not a lengthy record compared to Andre Arlovsky. Arlovsky's been in over 50 fights. Acosta's only been in 11. So, you know, and as I mentioned, Arlovsky was the champion during the Stone Age era of the UFC, the Dark Ages, they say, because everybody was the heavyweight title was getting like hot potato. They was switching hands like every week or 2 weeks or so. So, but this is gonna be a good fight. You like the boxing aspects of mixed martial arts, you'll like to watch this one because those dudes are gonna throw hands, good combinations and whatnot. The rest of this card is pretty cool. My dude from Lion Fight, Gaston Bolanos, also UFC fight, former Bellator fighter. He's gonna be on this card fighting Marcus McGee. They got Preston Parsons versus Matthew Summelsberger. A good matchup between a dude on the rise, Farid Basharat, one half of the Basharat brothers, who will be fighting a dude that I like out of France, who's been out of the UFC for some years. I don't know why they cut him when he was on a winning record, by the name of Taylor Lapilus. Or Taylor Lapilus. Super good, real good talent. Takedown defense pretty solid. Striking's pretty solid. His output kind of fluctuates between high and low sometimes, but good matchup there. We got a throwaway fight somewhat between Weston Wilson and John Silva. Silva's coming in on short notice. I say it's throwaway fight because somebody's going to get slept.
Right.
Yeah, because Weston Wilson got KOs. He finishes fights, but he also gets finished in fights. None of his fights go to decision. So you're guaranteed to see somebody get finished in a fight.
Quick.
Yeah. We got Nicholas Mota on the card too, fighting Tom Nolan. Nolan just got signed last year from the Contender Series. Had a really good finish in his fight there for the contract. Mota has been around for a bit. He's still young. He's trying to find his way. He comes from a good camp in Extreme Couture, but he always wants to throw hands. He has a nasty left hook, big power. But he just hasn't been able to find the chin of people, man. And he's been taking some bad losses, too. And then the card kicks off with a good fight between Felipe Bunez, who's coming out for LFA, against Joshua Vane. The young dude who was supposed to be on the Contender Series last year, but instead they called him up to the big show, and he hasn't disappointed. High level output, gets stronger within each round of the fight.
Wow.
And he's a young cat. He's only like 22.
Woo.
Bro. bro, when I say this guy is fun to watch, Joshua Van is fun to watch. So this card, while some people will say I'm not into all the matchups, should turn out to be another good one, man.
Nice.
The first card back. Also, since we'll go back one more time, to this one. Yes. Artur Beterbiev, the guy on this side here. Your current three belt title holder. You know, he's the unified champion because he's waiting to get an opportunity to become undisputed WBC, IBF, and WBO World Light Heavyweight titles is what Artur Beterbiev is holding. Artur Beterbiev is 19-0. Artur Beterbiev, while he is Russian, he lives in Canada. That's why you see the maple leaf there.
Got it.
He represents Canada, even though he is Russian. Artur Beterbiev will not give you no boring fight. Whether it looks like he's getting hurt in the fight or he's ruling the fight, you are guaranteed to see pain when he's out there. He breaks down some people, boy, and you're just like, how?
Wow.
There's a couple fights he's had. I think it's the Anthony Yard fight. And who was the other dude? They fought during the pandemic. The fight that he had in the pandemic was crazy because it looked like they were fighting in a basement. It was on ESPN, but the vision was cloudy. It looked crazy. It looked like they just huddled everybody in this one room and they said, "Yo, let's box." But he was there. He had a good showing there. But he's been on the tear, man. He stopped Joe Smith, Marcus Brown. Oh, it was Denise. Dainies or Dainies. I think that was the dude he fought. But the Anthony Yard fight was crazy because he got rocked. Everybody thought he was going to be down and out. He came right back. That power does not leave. That same power you feel in the first 2 rounds, you'll feel in the last 2 rounds still. It's just like that.
Crazy.
And he's fighting Callum Smith. Now, we remember Callum Smith.
We do.
Callum Smith, brother of Liam Smith. He fought Canelo a little while back. Callum Smith, former Ring Magazine super middleweight champion, former WBA middleweight champion, beating George Groves. The man lost those titles to Canelo. He moved up correctly. He got his rhythm. He got some finishes. He's solid. He's a solid boxer. Really good guy.
Got it.
You know what I mean? Really showing off real good skills. His hooks are something lethal, man. The dude could box. He got a long uppercut, though. He got this crazy long uppercut he throws from time to time. It's similar to the Conor McGregor uppercut where he throws the right hand uppercut with the left straight, and he'll catch you. If he doesn't catch you with that, you're gonna get slept with something vicious. That's your headliner. There's a dude out of France. He's in the co-main. Out of Cameroon, same place Francis Ngannou's from, but represents France. The WBA, Intercontinental, WBC, Continental America's champion. I think he's a WBA international champ, though.
Hey, I got a question for you. Is
Sure.
Joel Embiid from Cameroon?
I think so. Is he?
I think so.
I'm gonna look at. Let me look that up. Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I've been trying to figure that one out too for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Christian and Billy.
Breaking news.
What's up?
The Bills Steelers game has been moved to Monday at 4:30.
Ah, and I'm looking forward to it on tomorrow.
Monday, 4:30.
Yo, they playing games, man.
Maybe they don't make it a Peacock game.
I hope they don't. I need to see that
Monday,
on TV.
4:30.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, they
Yep.
just stretching this along, man.
Oh, that weather.
I don't mind it. Yeah, I don't mind
And
it.
the fact that they had the Monday is now a date now for the Tampa Bay and the Eagles are going to be at nighttime.
Yeah.
So I was wondering what they're going to do, because I'm like, if all this crazy weather is going to happen, are you really going to have the people in there?
That's true. That is true. I heard the Kansas City game was supposed to be like negative 27 degrees or something like that.
Yes.
That's insane. Yo. Pray. Just pray. That's wild.
I told you. That's that level of fandom that I'm like, nah, no thanks.
I don't know how the Miami players are gonna deal with that though. Oh,
they're gonna fold.
Yo,
Mary says lots of snow in Buffalo right now.
Yeah. We was talking about that during this week. I forgot where I was going. And we was talking about the snow. I was like, we don't get snow like that, but Buffalo does. And those dudes get like Alaska type snow. But yo, Christian and Billy is on the co-main, 25-0, fighting Rohan Murdoch out of Australia, who's 27-2. That's gonna be a co-main. They got Jason Maloney out of Australia fighting Saul Sanchez for the WBO bantamweight title, which is gonna be pretty good. And there's a couple other fights on here too, with some, Mexican talents, because boxing is fun, but when you have Mexican fighters on there, it's gonna be
Mexican
exciting.
style.
Yes, Mexican style. We got Canada represented on this card as well.
You're in for a treat.
Yeah, so prepare yourselves. Prelims. So it's gonna be 4 fights on the main card. The prelims you can catch on ESPN Plus, but the US broadcast will be on ESPN, but it'll also be on ESPN Plus, because if anything interferes with it, you got ESPN Plus to fall back on. But it starts at 10 o'clock. The main card, I think, starts at 10. Yeah. The prelims will start earlier than that. So, yeah, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Hey, before we close out, best ways to find you and all the great things that you do with broadcasting during the week.
Yo, man, I'm on X. I'm not going to call it the formerly known as. I'll just say we're on X. New Year, same B. As you can see at the bottom there, at Mr. B 1986. You can tag me in something. Hit me up on the DMs, whatever. I got a show I do, a little podcast thing I do, the B-sides of the fight game, Wednesdays at 4. I'm on OK Live, this app, this international app, the Russian app.
Global app.
Yes. I'm on there on the weekends. Whenever this fight's going on, I'm over there. So you could watch fights and hear me commentate. Ask questions there, I'll answer. We got to fight convos and randoms. But it's pretty fun over there.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I joke, I kid, man. But yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool. We still sit here hoping for a haps like app to show up again, or something like Periscope come back or something like that. But we doing what we do on here, man.
Yeah,
And
you
you can
do.
find me with this guy. Whenever this guy is broadcasting here, this guy right here, this guy, Ted Hicks. Or you see me with the guys talking football, man, on the Bell King TV.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
changes everything. This
yeah,
changes everything now. But you know what? I could see two games going to Monday. You know, and where you spread this out.
yeah.
Um, I do have one final question for you, and it's as I'm getting questions in live. Um, I always remember this to be wild card weekend.
Yeah.
When did it become super awesome, fabulous wild card weekend? You know, when did they throw in the super?
Is when they started adding them extra games, man. When they extended the season. That's what happened. They said, yo, you know what, guys? We're going to extend the season. And everybody looked around each other and said, let's do it.
I
You
just
know?
always remember. I would always remember. I would be excited during the year to talk about wild card weekend. You know, because I'm like, yo, that's where teams are just going for it. You know, you would have two teams um, from each division on the bye, and the teams would just be scraping and scrapping. And then when they threw in this super, and you hear like the just listen to today to the broadcasters. You're here for Super Wild Card Weekend.
Yeah.
You know, and they're throwing all that, and you're like, when did this happen? But you're right with the extra
Yeah,
game.
the extra games, as Rich says right there, the promotion. And I forgot who. I think it was Rich. I think Rich either he threw a post on Twitter on X. I think it was or something I read. I think it was Rich that put it there. Talking about this like $110 million that was
Yes,
put into this game.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Kansas City game. I'm like, wait a minute, what?
$110 million.
I'm like, what?
Rich, I don't know if you can come up real quick to just talk about this specific topic before we drop off. $110 million game. Okay.
And I'm like, I read it, and I said, wait a minute. Because I
One
forgot who it
game.
was from Kansas City that mentioned it. And I said, wait a minute.
Yep.
Huh? I'm like, what? I said, there's no way.
Yes. Hang on one second.
I said, ain't no way. Oh my God.
Hang on one sec. Rich Roberts, who's affected by the snow. I just want to let's see. Where's the link? I know we're extending this, folks, but I just wanted to get someone else's take on this.
That's so crazy, though.
Okay, so
If you don't got access to NBC, watch your games on Peacock.
Yeah, I mean, all right. I just sent you the link, Rich. Sorry. If you can come up, if you're available, just want to talk, just to get your take, you know. And if you're not available, we could talk about it because I guess Tony will be available later.
That's
Sent
crazy.
you a new link. These links are dynamic, so they change. I
Yeah.
just sent you. Check your I just DM'd you a link. There he goes.
Oh man, oh man.
Okay, so they are they changed it. I wasn't.
Yeah, these are dynamic.
Okay, got it.
The other ones not so much.
Okay.
Rich,
thank you for inviting me up. First of all,
hey,
I greatly appreciate it, sir.
Hey, thank you for taking the time to come up. We were talking, we were focusing on combat sports, and then the news broke about the Buffalo game.
Yep. Well, I don't think I posted something because that $110 million thing doesn't sound familiar. I did post up something that I tagged you and JoJo about the ESPN scams.
So then I think I might have sent that out, Joe, about the $110 million. So I mean, there's I guess this is the get off, Rich. This is our get off our lawn segment. This is our get off our lawn.
Is this
segment.
About Peacock?
Yes, this is about Peacock.
Screw Peacock. I'll make no bones about it. I am not a fan of Peacock. They can take Peacock and shove it as far as
just the level of greed. It just
it is.
I mean, if you think I was triggered the other night,
I'm
triggered by this whole, hey, we're gonna force you to download an app to watch a game because it's Patrick Mahomes,
right?
The apple of everyone's eye.
Yep.
Well, even the players, they're upset. They're pissed off.
Yeah,
it's just like this is just going to have. This will be something to follow as far as what's going to transpire after the fact, because Peacock is not going to make any money on this.
No, there's no money.
This path of going down this line, no network is going to make any money because I pay and then plus I got to watch commercials. How much money do you guys need? It's like.
But Rich, I have to interject and say, Peacock is saying in the fourth quarter you won't have any commercials. I'm like, because you shoved them in the first three quarters.
Yeah.
I say BFD to that. BFD. You can fill in the blanks. I'm adamant about that. It's freaking ridiculous. And I'm serious because we're by comparisons, the ESPN Emmy Awards. I find that freaking funny because did you watch the video?
That's nasty business.
The funniest part is when Greg Gutfield tells them those are porn star names.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, but anyway, the Peacock thing. I'm going to be following this because it is of interest, but I am not a fan of Peacock at all. I mean, Disney is shining, and I ended up watching on Disney. No, it was Netflix last night. I'm trying to watch that Echo that you guys were talking about on the broadcast, but I got a parental the app a family member pays for and stuff like that. And
but it's TVMA.
Yeah, I have to find a way of changing the child care or child protection thing on mine because it's a second password I sign in from the family member that's at another location there and stuff.
It's TVMA. So it's like you might not even be able to view it because if there's that parental
block is on. But is there any way of changing that parental block?
Listen, this is nothing more than we know it's a money grab by the NFL. Okay, that's number one.
Get him back on track. Yeah.
But number one, that's a money grab. Okay, so it's $110 million.
Right.
Okay, great. Split that across the 30. How many teams we have? 30 or 32? If you split that across the owners, that might be $1.2 million per owner.
It's not worth it. It's going to have
worth it.
It's not going to have adverse effects on the NFL, but it's going to have adverse effects on NBC with their Peacock channel because I just from a viewer standpoint, that just there's so much going on in the cable world, and
Mhm.
cutting the cord and all that stuff, and you guys are making money. I mean, they're doing deals now. I'm trying to figure out if I have to really pay for Paramount Plus, because supposedly Spectrum, if you have Spectrum, you get it for free now.
Oh, good.
So I don't know for sure. I saw some, but I don't want to discontinue. I don't want to disconnect my or discontinue my subscription because I love Paramount.
Yeah,
I like it.
I would call them.
Yeah, I will. It's still a good price, though. It's still a good price.
Good luck with trying to get in contact with customer support. Nowadays.
Well, I'll just go to the office. Well, we could have stopped at the office there earlier and stuff. I'll go right in and stuff. But even still, by comparisons with Peacock, even if I was getting it for free, I'll still pay the $5.99 or $6.99 the subscription price, because it's that good of a product.
Yeah,
Paramount is phenomenal. Netflix. I used to complain about Netflix. No more. I got Peacock to complain about because they're a bunch of bozos. Literally, and like you said, it's a money grab, and I totally agree with that. It's just that irks the hell out of me. It's just like, how much more money do you want?
So it's a money grab, and it's the NFL going, sorry to say this, folks, balls deep into streaming and saying, hey, our next agreement in 10 years from now, it might be all streaming.
No, I don't see. I know where you're going with that. I can't fathom that at this point that they're going to go totally to streaming, because
I hope so either.
There's when you put it on the scale, there's too much bad stuff that can happen. It's like, because there's so many options now. Cutting a cord, it's like Jojo was saying about what you were talking about just a few moments ago, Jojo, about being on Haps and with your broadcasts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're having more fun doing this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because when you have more options, it's better in the long run.
It is.
And Peacock, what they're doing, wasn't there somebody else that tried doing that too? And
well, Amazon does it they did it for the Black Friday game.
Hold on a second. I'll be right back.
All right.
Well, Black Friday, you could still watch it on Twitch. You could still watch it for free.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You can watch those games. That's the thing. It's not total. So that, if they didn't have that, I would agree with you, but I'm going to have to disagree, because I can watch it on Twitch. Now, the only thing is, I tried watching on a Twitch app that I have on here, a third party. You can't watch it. I got Twitch on Google's TV out in the living room. There's something that's encoded in there it only goes to like a phone or
mobile OS.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
But even still, you still have access to that for nothing. You just have to make sure you got that particular, where Peacock, it's completely different.
It's just crazy.
It is.
So how's the weather out there? Is it
good? I did something unusual going out shopping with the missus. She wanted to get a stamp pad. She got this the old stamp pads, paid deposit and all that.
Yes.
Well, she had a special one made up for a commemorative event that she's volunteered for. So we went up, and it's hard to get a little freaking ink pad. But it was a 2-inch in diameter pad with the logo on it. So she got that. But on top of that, real quick, and I'm still ecstatic. On top of that, I just want to add one more thing. I got a pair of these.
New Balance.
Hey.
These shoes are like practically brand new. I mean, looking at the treads, the right when we got done with Staples, right next door is Goodwill.
Yeah.
I picked these babies up for $20, $19.99. They're like
New Balance. You never go wrong with New Balance.
These are a discontinued model, because I've been to the New Balance factory up in Boston when I was stationed there years back in the Air Force. I used to get these New Balances for $5 a pop when the shoes back then were like maybe 35.
Wow.
And that's when it was really expensive at 35. But $5 if there was like a piece of plastic or rubber melted or something right at the factory. They just dumped them in. And I was getting premier shoes. I just relived that today, because Mrs. found these, and I'm like, and I'm looking at they're size 13. I tried them on. I said, we're buying it. Just, and she got her ink pad. So it was one of those shopping things on a Saturday. So and coming home, I was doing a broadcast talking about that in the car, And then when I shut down, I saw you guys were, you and JoJo were on and stuff. So I was in the car. So I mean, even that, to be able to do that, and then make the end of your broadcast here. This is a great Saturday. So I'm not worried about. And you know what's even funner and even more meaningful? I'm here and I'm hearing breaking news from our good friend Ted Hicks.
Boom! Just like that. Yeah. Just like that. Just it's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
It's the beauty of the internet when you could just say, boom, I knew with all the back and forth and that the governor was involved, and I was just like, okay. Our lovely governor.
Oh, she got involved with the moving of the game and stuff like that because
well, she was on last night and she was yapping it up, and then I guess they were working.
I was seeing some pictures yesterday, and even the missus was saying that they may not have the game on Sunday, and I'm thinking, well, from the pictures I saw, if they get snow again up there, the stadium's full of snow.
Yeah,
it's just literally it got dumped on. We don't have any snow. All our snow is gone. We had some rain. I mean, we're still at 41 degrees. We're supposed to drop like a rocket down to the 20s, mid 20s, I guess, overnight and stuff. But I think that if anything, I think that's better for the viewers that game is moved on because we got games today. We got games tomorrow. Exactly. Yeah. And I agree with you as far as Ted is like, when did they put more emphasis on this being the wild card weekend? It's just wild card. Okay. It's just like, it's not the divisional. It's not the conference championships. Those are more important.
I was driving yesterday. I was telling Joe before the broadcast, we were in the green room. I was driving to JFK and the announcer kind of, I was laughing because his voice changed. He was like, "Get ready for this weekend's super wild card weekend." And I was just like,
well, they JoJo, they used to do that in the early days of wrestling to promote it, to make it. Yeah, this is a big. You guys need to watch this.
Saturday.
Yeah, it's all part of that theatrics and stuff like that. So it's all good.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. But it's I don't know. Peacock sucks. You shouldn't. And I'm a Peacock subscriber, but I'm like.
Do you watch it that much though? Being a subscriber, I got to ask you.
I watch it truthfully, I watch it for PFT.
Okay.
For Mike Florio, I watch it for Michael Smith, who's another journalist, broadcaster, has his podcast on there, and my wife watches a show on there. Okay. So we don't watch it that much.
Yeah. Now the PFT, I'm still watching NBC, but it's on an NBC icon off of Roku.
Right.
So it's not going through Peacock, so it's a it might be I think sometimes it's live. It's on the I don't know where
because they take that broadcast and repurpose it and simulcast it everywhere.
So I have no problems watching the replay on it because it's a good show there from what I've seen. Stuff like that. So, really great show.
I'll watch the morning one, and when he does the PFT PM, where he's like, okay, everything that I didn't cover in the morning, I'm going to cover in a truncated broadcast in the evening.
But it gives you that sports. My takeaway on that show when I first saw it, it's like this is giving me the takeaway of I'm satisfied, just like I am watching Sports Center on ESPN.
Yes.
As far as that goes, you're getting the down and dirty on the sports and stuff like that, which I love.
Kind of like the business of sports. Let's tell you what's happening with these coaches and why this happened and blah 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 and all this other stuff. But that's my take on it.
Hang on for a minute, Pat. Hang on. Mm-hmm. She needs a roll of tape, so I'm adamant about. You want one that's already there? That. Okay, that'll work. I think I clipped her when I was doing the car thing. There might be a picture of her in there and stuff.
Okay.
If we were in the green room right now, I'd tell her come over here. I know.
And say, hey,
yeah. But I'm a little,
I'm with you.
Yeah.
The last thing I'm going to say is NBC with Peacock with streaming, they lost $3 billion.
Wow.
So to go and spend another $110 million exclusively, and I'm like, help me out on this.
What was attributed to the loss, though, Ted? Do you know?
I guess what was forecasted for the growth.
Okay.
I guess overall growth.
Okay.
And the amount of money spent on the content that kind of people weren't watching.
Right. Yeah.
And it's funny because I share a Peacock account with one of my buddies, and I'm like, so, the real thing is, and Joe should have called me out on it, was I also watched the WWE PLEs.
Oh yeah,
the premium live events. That's how I watch them. So I'm with you on it. But
you only have so much money and stuff like that. And,
yeah.
And it was funny. It was funny because I had it on a promo.
Right.
I had it for a year for a promo for $199. So the 1 year went up, and I told one of my buddies, I was like, I'm done, because I was letting him use my login. I said, yo, I'm done. I'm done with this. Yeah. So you do whatever you need to do.
Right.
And my buddy started paying for it.
Oh, okay.
He started paying for it.
He had no problem you using the password and stuff.
Right.
Okay. Does he watch it a lot, though? Do you know how much he does? Okay.
Yeah, he watches a lot also.
Yeah.
I mean, I could tell he watches a lot. He has his own profile up there.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
It's like, but yeah, that's kind of the deal. But you got a lot of people pissed off. You got presidential candidates chiming in on X.
I was just trying to find something that says, this is here's how you can view that game. And they go through a bunch of gobbledygook as far as, what we already talked about. Mm-hmm. But then, how they say you can watch it? They're giving the breakdown. It's like an advertisement for Peacock. I don't want to see that in the news. It's like, it's bullshit. Because, like I said, there's been so many articles I've read this week of the players. They said, this is ridiculous. It's stupid.
It is.
I mean, these are the guys that are actually playing the game and stuff. It just so I don't think it's a format or a formula for success for streaming. I really don't. I mean, especially when it's part of the NBC kingdom, I guess you could say.
Yes.
And there's a lot of money there to start out with, and like you just pointed out a point. You divvy up that money, it comes out to peanuts compared to what they're paying for something else. They're paying more for these second, third string quarterbacks when the first string gets knocked out, stuff like that.
Right.
Yes.
And this goes back to also with the owners with the turf. How much would it cost you to go? It's like, who's driving the ship on these places?
It's like, come on.
It's madness, man. Straight madness.
If you see X amount of big money players have gone down this year from turf, wouldn't you think, hey, we need to really rethink this? Because
we had this discussion before, and I'm totally agreement. It's just like, go ahead and do it. It's not that hard. It's the right thing to do too, because it protects the players. So anything that protects the players, I'm for and stuff. So
same here. Let's see.
Is Tony going to have a broadcast later today? Or
that's a question.
Because I know he was in here earlier and stuff like that. And
that's a question.
I'm available. I'll be available and stuff like that. So unless I'm taking a nap, which I don't think I will, because I'm stoked about these shoes. I haven't been that stoked about shoes in a long time. They fit perfectly. I mean, the grip on them is just like
great,
unreal. If they would have put a price of say $25 to $30, I would have paid that much for them.
You still would have. I mean,
But it's a goodwill, so they're going to mark it up a little bit, and I think they made some money or whatever because it's all donated. But I got to be honest, I almost felt a little guilty. There's the man.
There he is.
So
There he is. Hey, Tony.
busy in the background, man. My bad. What's going on with y'all, man? How y'all doing?
Pretty good. Pretty
man?
good.
What's going on, man?
Sitting here doing
Hey,
long.
Joe, we just lost your video.
Oh,
We
you
can
did.
hear you.
Give me
Yeah.
a minute. I'll be right there.
Um,
Damn, my
we were getting ready to.
I know you're gonna wrap it up. That's fine.
We're doing I'm doing a Michael Bathurst. Or I'm doing a Ted Hicks on Ted Hicks's show.
Yes.
I just got one
Joe,
question. I just got one question.
Just one question. I just only have one question.
The kicker
What's
is
that,
the
Tony?
Peacock. We talked about earlier this year, the Peacock and Tubi and Pluto and all of them. And I was saying this was going to happen. I think it's kind of messed up. They're going somewhere, but and I was listening to you all earlier when I was talking about WWE. The WWE network went down. I used to have it. The thing that drove me crazy about WWE network was there was no money in that Raw. It was just the pay-per-views and the documentaries. So they were working fine with the USA network. Also, if they get off of Fox, all they got to do is put Raw on USA. They're the biggest draw on USA network right now. I don't see why they wouldn't do that. Put all the WWE shows on USA, like when they did the
To me,
Monday
that
Night
makes
Wars.
sense.
And USA Network would make big money then.
Yes.
Just keeping it up because they're a good channel.
I think wrestling is their money, honestly, because the network shows aren't doing anything. The movies are doing stuff here and there. That's fine. WCW and WWE back in the day used to be TBS, TNT, and USA. They move on from it, but unless they're grossing without them the way they were with them, I don't see why they wouldn't go back. Peacock is a new network, and we were saying that before. They did a new network with new type of money.
They're not that new. They're not that new. They've been around as much as
they've been around.
They've been around for a while now. But I think they're trying to be more prominent. They're trying to be more prominent.
There you go.
They're not ABC, they're not CBS, they're not USA, they're not TBS, they're not TNT. So it's put everything over there. Okay, that makes sense. They used to be free. Now they're going to charge because they're pulling in that much money and attention. It makes total sense. I get it as much as we may hate it. But nobody's going to watch the game today unless you got a Peacock and you can't watch it for free. Me and Jojo talked about this last year when they started doing the pay-per-views for wrestling. They used to be free. They had to start charging. They had to start charging. So it just makes sense. You're not going to get everything for free no more. And $6 a month will do it. I'd rather pay for that than pay for the NFL network.
But how many subscriptions are you going to have if you're not really using it as much? Like, there's no way I would use it as much to where I use my Paramount and even Netflix. I would watch more on Netflix than I would on Peacock and stuff like that. So, some of these companies, some of these streaming services, they got to really think. Well, you look at Showtime. Showtime's bundling with Paramount. Probably because they can't go alone anymore. Hulu's going with another one because they're seeing you're already paying for it, but if you combine it, that means more viewerships. That means more viewers watching the commercials.
And also,
simple math. What's that, Tony?
HBO and Cinemax merged. They're all merged. You brought up the Disney Plus merger a few days ago. I thought that was a very good topic. Remember you showed that?
I'm still going to find out. I just the last 3 or 4 days, I saw something, and it was a YouTube that came up. Paramount Plus free if you were a Spectrum subscriber, but it said Spectrum subscriber with something else. But I haven't seen anything clear cut, and Spectrum hasn't come out with anything official yet. But I'm not going to take a chance. I played around with signing in on both sides, and I can, but again, I'm a viewer where I don't mind at this point if I waste $6 a month on Paramount because I'm getting more than my fair share, my money's worth from that channel because I love everything that's on Paramount, especially with Halo. Halo's supposed to be coming out here next month.
Yeah,
y'all got watching all the Star Trek shows up there. That's why I had to get it last year. Appreciate it.
Yep.
I got to ask you, I watched a movie last night on Netflix, talking about Netflix. I finally watched the first 2 installments, and I think you all watched them too, because I think I love this actor. The third one was, God, what's the name of the movie now?
We don't know. You trying to tell us. So let me know. I'm listening.
Equalizer 3.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh my God.
yeah.
The way it started, it's like, okay, where's he at? You're trying to figure it out, and then you figure it out. It's almost had that old theme of the 7 guys that went down to Mexico to save the city, save the town there, and stuff like that. Which what Denzel Washington, the remake of that. But this one last night, it was great all the way through.
Yep.
Great fights, and you know you don't want to mess with him. It's like he's better than John Wick. I wouldn't want to mess with either one of those.
Yeah.
But then towards the end, when he's seeing the one agent there that almost got blown away, and he's asking her to take the bag of money that gave the reason why the reason he went there in the first place.
Right.
And it's just this other thing came about, but then. Right at the end, did you guys all saw it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The envelope. She got the envelope, and when she pulled out the envelope, it said, "Your mom would be proud." And it dawned on her. I don't know if she knew who, but it just like and then it pans to the picture of the parents, and I'm like,
yep.
"Oh my freaking God!"
Yep.
I'm just wailing. It's like, "Oh my God!"
You see how they tied it up in a nice bow?
Bingo.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So that was a good watch last night. So see right there, I got my money's worth for my 1 month subscription.
Yes.
Netflix.
Yeah, you know the one funny thing is my kids and everyone mooch off my Netflix account.
Mm-hmm.
I downgraded the account.
I have too. I'm at the lowest
account.
I get the commercial. I'm going to get the commercials after the 17th of this month. It's like I saw that option and it's like, oh, I'm there because I'm already watching commercials on Paramount. So what difference does it make?
Something came on my screen. It said that you have people not watching it, not in your household. Right. So my new amount was $24.71.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you know what?
No.
Love my family, but they're a bunch of moochers, and they're going to be in for the time of their lives.
Wow.
I like that feature in the background of that Netflix there where you see who's logged on. So I just started logging on. I said, what the hell is this?
Start logging people off.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Really nice feature. So Netflix just gained a whole bunch of respect for me when I saw that. And the one family member that shared this, well, no problem. We can get that, but you can still have Disney though. And I said, oh, that's fine. I don't really watch Disney. It's other family members that like Disney and stuff. But I tell you one thing that's not going to be in this household is Peacock.
Dude.
That's my bad.
I really don't like Peacock.
Yo, only thing I'll say is this: starting the 20th, when 2 of them try to connect to Netflix, number 1,
they're gonna be calling you.
I'm just gonna say I don't know what to tell you. I'm just gonna say I don't know what to tell you.
Geez.
I'm sitting here. I see all these logins where you can see who's logged in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what in the world? I'm like, you guys are just. It's just.
There's somebody else using the password.
Yeah, it's like a wild cowboy show.
They're giving it to their friends. Exactly.
I said, okay, I got something for you guys. I said, number 1, it went from $24 to the $6.99.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
Try that on for size.
Yeah. So, and with that, I'll probably be keeping Netflix. I won't be complaining about Netflix because that when it gets up to $20 a month, it's like
I don't even watch it.
Yeah.
I barely watch it. I almost cut it off again.
I don't even watch it.
I almost cut it off.
Well, they have the Band of Brothers, the full series, and also both the Europe and Pacific, and there's quite a few other Vietnam era war documentaries that I can only find on Netflix. So I like having the access. So, but like I said, for $20-something, it's like, I don't watch it that much, but
I don't watch it that much.
For $6.99, just to have that availability.
Yeah.
See, here's my problem.
$6.99, I'm in.
I watch more about broadcasts than I do what's on TV.
I subscribe to Apple TV, I had it because I wanted to watch. There was an Idris Elba TV show on there where he was like, they were taken hostage and they were in an airplane.
Right.
Oh, okay, I remember that.
Yeah, so I watched it, and it was $6.99, and I was like, okay, I feel like I watched a 10-hour TV show for $6.99. I'm like, okay, I could do that.
Yeah, you got your money.
Yeah,
there's value to the dollar or what you're paying for and stuff.
And then I clipped it. I said goodbye.
Yeah, there's a couple shows that are on that I've seen of late that they're new shows on Apple TV. As like, man,
okay.
I can't think of them right now, but I know there was one or two. I'm like, whoa, what is that going to be on? Oh, it's Apple TV. I don't watch.
You know what I liked? The morning show.
Yeah.
The morning
that's
show?
okay. Is that a good show? Is it?
And they just had their 3rd season.
Yep.
Excellent show.
Yeah.
I mean, excellent series. I hope they come back for a 4th.
Right. Well, there's a series on Netflix, and we got 4 episodes left. It's five seasons. It's called Kim's Convenience.
Okay.
It's about a convenience store up there in Toronto. It's a Korean family, and it's funnier than I love the characters. It's funnier than shit. And I don't normally watch more than 1 or 2. We'll watch 5 or 6 at a time.
Was this show on in Canada?
Yes, it's in Toronto. 1-5,
Yes.
and they were looking at a 6th season, but not. But it's just the characters there. The guy who plays Mr. Kim, he's been on. He was one of the TIE fighters in Star Wars and stuff.
Okay.
Right, and it's just some. You could just. I guess the reports are there was a lot of tension on the sets and stuff, but on the show they look like they're just having a ball. It is very funny. It has some cultural aspects of what's going on today and stuff like that, but just the story and it's sort of along that lines of watching Friends, Big Bang, and those type series that it's just you don't want it to stop. And we have 4 episodes. We'll probably watch sometime this weekend, I guess. But you get your money. See, with starting to watch that, I said, man, I like Netflix. I'm glad we have Netflix. It's even better paying the less amount.
Yes.
And I'm getting more bang for my buck now in the long run. That's how I feel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm like, get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I will let you know on a future broadcast. Specifically after the 20th of January, how pissed they're going to be at me.
They got follow up.
How pissed they're going to be. They're going to be like, what is this ads?
Well,
what is this?
You're going to have you don't expect a reaction like being triggered by that video that was on.
Oh yeah.
I watched the replay on your show, Ted, and I'm like, oh my God.
It was like
I can honestly say I've never been faced with that situation. There was one time, and this is one family member. She graduated up there at Buffalo University.
Mm-hmm.
Was there at the graduation. We went to it was Jim Kelly's bar.
Oh, okay.
Great place, great food, and I'm thinking, I'm going to pay for half of this and stuff like that. Our guest, friend of my daughter, I should say, I guess, said, "Oh no, you're our guest," and I'm always one that I was almost thinking, and I was almost going to do this like a couple minutes before, get up and pay the bill beforehand. Because I've done that before, and I regret it because I was getting ready to have an argument, and under the table, I'm getting kicked by the missus. It's like, just shut the frick up, because it was a good sized bill, and I had no problem paying it and stuff like that. But the other side of the coin, I don't think I've ever been faced with that, because usually if I go to a dinner or something like that, like the last big dinner I was at was 9 months ago, was right when I retired. They had a big get together and stuff like that. And I said, well, what do you need from? No, Rich, it's your party. We got it covered. And I've always been in that situation. So watching that video, I'm thinking, and what was the missus say? We're talking about it, and she said something to where the wife did invite them. So I don't know if did she invite them all or just a few?
I don't
or
know.
But even still, I would figure all the women there would be saying smart enough to I've been sideswiped here and stuff like that. So, and maybe even making an attempt, but just the fact that, well, you're the man. I'm like, could you say, well, you're us saying you're the woman? Oh my God. So I was a little triggered by that too. I'm thinking,
Rich, and the amount of pressure they were applying on him from 8 different directions, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, nah.
So that was a good conversation on yours, and I went back to Carmen's replay to watch it there and stuff like that. Those are good real world aspects. And I agree with Tony. Tony, Tony's take was, I think, the best.
Yes.
And stuff as far as I know, Carmen didn't really care for it. A little bit. But hey, Carmen, it's like everybody. As far as that goes, because but I'm always one, if I'm going, I just assume that I have money in the pocket to where if we need to, if it's running a little light or something like that, hey, but there's been a number of times where I'll go up beforehand because I remember this one time we were over, this is when I was still single. We were up at Hanscom Field where the assistant chief of tech service was leaving. Ski, he was from South Boston. He was leaving to another assignment, and this other guy was leaving. We went up to this place up on Route 1 in North Boston. I forget, it's a Polynesian place. So we ran between the 4 of us, I think 5 of us, and they brought their wives. I mean, we're talking like a $700, $800 bill. Yeah. This is back in the early 80s. I mean, we had this is the last time we're seeing everybody.
Yes.
I was single. I had money in my back pocket, draining my checking, my savings account. I said, I'm going to pay for this, at least my share, if not more.
Right.
When it came to paying the bill, Ski, his father was there and his mother, and his father is a bookie in it. The story is his father knew Whitey in Boston, the gangster.
Yeah.
Whitey Ford.
Whitey, yeah, he knew him. He was a bookie back in the day.
Wow.
So, and Ski would tell me that, I don't like him doing it, but I think he's still doing book down in South Boston. So it comes to paying the bill, and here comes Ski's father, and I didn't even think about it, and then the waitress, hey, it's taken care of, and right away Ski's looking at his dad. His dad flipped the whole bill because to him that was an honor to be, just for all of us, as we wouldn't be seeing each other for quite a long time because we're going to different parts of the world and stuff like that.
Right.
So it's just that watching your broadcast and also Carmen's on that particular aspect, it reminded me of that point. Is just Carmen said that she has been in that situation along with her friend there. And I said, I've never been in that because I always talk. It's always even before going in the restaurant. I mean, I can remember was after my father's funeral. Me and my older brother were saying, "Well, how are we going to handle it?" I mean, this is outside the gathering afterwards and stuff. A Chinese restaurant that my father loved to go to and stuff like that. My cousins and stuff like that. And my older brother said, "Don't worry about Rich. I got it covered." I said, well, what about their family? I got it covered.
Yeah.
And, you do it beforehand. So it's like, and I said, well, I
all of that.
Yeah. And I tell them, hey, if you come up short, let me know because I've got money in my pocket there to, so it's just a matter of, but that video, man, it's just an epitome.
just the gall. And the lady's like, but you're the man. You're the
man.
Oh
God.
I'm like, what?
That's unreal.
Oh,
I
man.
tell you.
But hey, I don't know if we're doing anything. Hey, so is Bell King's just going to be tomorrow?
Probably. I mean, we could do what you want to do now. Run through something. I got him, and I'm gonna try and take him out.
No. You go do that.
Yeah.
You do that.
Yeah.
We could just.
I'm available, so I'm at the house now. Oh, Tony, did you see what I got?
New Balance.
Yeah, I got them at the Goodwill store for $19.99. They're the New Balance 479s. I looked on eBay. These things are worth about $65-$70.
Warren.
I felt like I was stealing them. I should. Matter of fact, I'm thinking of now. I'm trying to probably go next time I'm back up at that store. I'm going to go in and give them an extra 10 spot.
The store needs it. The store needs it.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, they do good work in the community.
I'm gonna tell you about something later, but I'm just trying to do some ripping and running with him. It might just be tomorrow morning. I know.
All right.
For a minute.
Okay.
All right.
I know Bathurst's probably gonna come on. Hey, I want to know when we're gonna raid that other show, Ted. We're waiting on you.
Later.
Yeah.
Let's go later.
I'll just say you can say that for 2 months, man.
No. Let's go later to Glitz.
Oh, is Glick on right now?
No. He'll be on tonight.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He'll be on tonight, and Glick is on for like 5-6 hours.
I'm doing 35, 40 minutes max.
Glick is on like 5-6 hours.
Oh.
You go to his broadcast. I'm just like, how long you been up here?
Oh God. Wherever.
But yeah, let's do. I'm with it to do it tonight.
I go out of town that day, but I need to wait. I've been putting myself off going out of town, hanging out so much, man.
We tell Bathurst and Brian
they need to come on.
Just go rate it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting on y'all. I'll be up there in a second. So
okay.
And I've been up there a few times. So it's up to you, jokers.
All right.
You jokers.
But I have no problem. Like I said, I appreciate you guys, and I have a great time coming up talking with you guys. So I'm available. When I say I'm available. Yeah. And if you shoot me the link, I didn't realize about the link on for StreamYards because I think Restream, it's the same one until you want to change it. And stuff like that.
It is changed. I was trying to pull up the other ones and all that. I was trying to check. I was trying to jump up here earlier. Once I got some of this stuff,
I'm always concerned about the
security.
Yeah. I'm always, just so at work, I've seen a couple of Zoom bombings at work.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, okay.
That's not good at all.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
That's not good at all.
Mm-hmm.
And you're scrambling to shut the thing down and
stuff
like
scrambling. You're like,
yo.
Hey, Rich, and people are like Ted. I'm like, what do you mean? Why'd you put the link? Why'd you make the link available and put it on
common sense? Common freaking sense.
Hey, I put it on X and I put it on Facebook and because I get notifications from Zoom that says, "Hey, this link was made public. You might, since you're an administrator, you might as well address this." And I'm going.
Oh, the links are tagged to where you can monitor it's got an encode on it to where. Yes. Oh wow, that's interesting.
So Zoom would email me.
Right.
One of the administrators.
Yeah.
And I would go back to the person like, why'd you do this?
Yeah.
I'm like, why did you do?
Oh, I didn't know.
I didn't know. I'm like, take it down.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Wow, that's unreal.
Stop playing
so
you figured after all this community zooming and telecasting and stuff like that during COVID, everybody would know that and stuff like that,
Right.
Like, wow. Video conferencing.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Sounding.
But you know what? I'm gonna end this.
Okay.
I'm gonna end this. I just want to talk with you guys in the green room. Just for
yeah.
Okay.
We might be up later. We might not be.
We should be up later, y'all. Y'all bring your tails on here tonight. All y'all who ain't working this weekend, get on up in here. If you're live streaming, come join us. Just get in the chat. One of the two or the three, because you ain't doing nothing else but sitting around trying to see what anybody else is going to do any damn way. Bring your ass. Late Night Parents. LateNightParents.com. Holla at your boys. You know what we do, man. Get up in here. I've been telling y'all for years, man. What y'all doing? No, that's what I fuck. Your chances up.
Yo, we're out.